Let's dive into the fascinating journey of coffee. And by the way, don't forget to hit that follow button so you never miss out on more content like this. Now, to produce just 1 pound of coffee beans, farmers need to harvest over 1,500 cherries. Inside each cherry are 2 seeds, which are processed, sorted, and roasted before they land in your cup. In 2022, the average price of coffee in the US was about $5.89 per pound. But if we're talking about specialty coffees, like single origin varieties, those can easily go for $30 or more per pound. Some even go for as high as $80 or more per pound. So, what makes these coffees so special, and why are they so expensive? Let's travel to Nyeri County, Kenya, where coffee harvesting is in full swing. Coffee is grown all over the world, with over 12.5 million coffee farms in operation. Most of these farms, around 95%, are owned by smallholders, just like Joseph, who runs a 1-acre farm passed down from his parents. For farmers like Joseph, it's all about producing the highest quality coffee possible, because the better the quality, the higher the price they can fetch. The conditions in which coffee grows matter a lot. Altitude, climate, soil, and sun all affect the flavor. Farms in this region sit at around 1,700 meters above sea level, with rich volcanic soil that provides ideal growing conditions. Coffee grows slowly here, taking longer to mature. And that's a good thing, because the longer it takes, the better the flavor. High altitude coffee like this is known for its fruity and floral flavors. And when you brew beans from just one region, those unique flavors come through more distinctly. That's what single origin coffee is all about. But achieving that quality isn't easy. The terrain here is too uneven for machines, so the coffee is picked by hand, 1 cherry at a time. It's a time-consuming process, and ripeness is key. Mary, a farmer who has been growing coffee for over 25 years, has to pay close attention while picking to avoid unripe cherries. In contrast, countries like Brazil, the world's largest coffee producer, use machines to harvest coffee on large, flat farms. While mechanized production is more efficient, it can also affect the quality. When machines pick the entire tree, both ripe and unripe cherries are mixed together, producing commodity coffee meant for mass production. This type of coffee sells for a lower price, and its quality is less controlled. On the other hand, the highest quality coffee is called specialty coffee. These coffees are evaluated by expert tasters, known as Q graders, who rate them based on their unique attributes. Single origin coffee often ranks at the top of the specialty coffee category because of its distinct flavors. Even though both specialty and commodity coffee come from the same plant, Arabica, the difference in quality and flavor is huge. For instance, in 2022, a single origin coffee from Panama sold for over $6,000 a pound at auction. That's because it had exceptional flavor and a small exclusive harvest. Now, back at Mary's farm, the work isn't done once the cherries are harvested. After picking, the cherries are sorted to remove any that are defective, as defects can negatively impact the flavor and reduce the price of the coffee. But this needs to be done quickly. Most small farms in Kenya, like Mary's, share centralized processing facilities because the infrastructure is expensive. More than 1,000 farmers in her region bring their coffee to these facilities, where it undergoes various processing methods that all aim to separate the seeds from the fruit. The most common processing method in Kenya is the washed process. It starts with depulping, which removes the outer skin of the cherries. Then the beans are fermented for 12 to 14 hours to break down the sticky mucilage inside the fruit. After fermentation, the coffee is washed, sorted, and soaked to ensure all the mucilage is removed before being dried. From there, the beans go through further sorting based on their density. Denser beans are considered higher quality and continue on to become the premium specialty coffee that commands those high prices. Even the lower quality beans, though, provide essential income to farmers. So why do single origin coffees cost so much? Beyond the labor-intensive harvesting and sorting process, there are other factors. The cost of processing, transporting, and running a roasting business all contribute to the final price. Packaging for subscriptions or home consumption has gone up in price too. And the more we invest in areas like supporting smallholder farmers, the higher the price of the coffee. When you buy single origin coffee, especially one that names the producer, it's often a sign that more was paid for that coffee. It reflects the care and attention that went into every step of the process from the farm to your cup. Companies like Metric Coffee, which source and roast single origin beans, play a crucial role in this supply chain. Most coffee is consumed outside the country where it's grown, and roasting is key to bringing out the best flavor. Roasters like Hara from Metric use sight, smell, and experience to track how a roast develops. Roasting coffee is a craft that takes years to master, and the goal is to develop the bean's natural flavors without adding anything artificial. Light roasts, for example, highlight the unique flavors of a region, allowing two single origin coffees to taste completely different from one another. Darker roasts, on the other hand, tend to mask defects and create a more uniform flavor, which is common in commodity coffee. Now, let me ask you, what's the most memorable cup of coffee you've ever had, and do you think it was a single origin?